this is my collection of seashells. Now, seashells. I have gotten these here separated. Now, these are not really seashells, as you can see. These are sea beans, which I always found interesting as a child. If you rub this black part on concrete, it will warm up. On asphalt or concrete, it will get all warm and hot, actually so hot that it can almost burn you. These are varying sizes and varying types of kukui nuts, which I have a top of, and it's pretty easy to make, and it's lasted for a long time, but I will save that for another day. It's a really killer top. Anyways, these are sea beans, of which I had one sprout when I planted it. It was so weird. It sprouted and it made this long, like, snake vine, and it eventually died. But it was like the weirdest vine. Like, it would move like a snake, seriously. And there's also this type, which is a small one. And there's a couple small ones here. And some of them have wider amounts of the black part. This one is variegated. This is half of a kukui nut. It's a kukui nut, kukui nut, kukui nut. And that's a kukui nut too. Pretty large kukui nut. Oh, and there's a shell that's out of place. These are rocks, which I'm going to have my rock collection separate, but these rocks actually I have separated right here. These are called Apache-tears. That's a big one right there, which is not an Apache-tear, that's more like obsidian, but I believe they're the same thing, basically, except the Apache-tears are smaller, rounder, and yeah, you can see through it just like a dark glass or type of quartz. These are all Apache-tears collected in Nevada, in Reno, Nevada specifically. And some of them may be from Oregon. Like that big piece may be from Oregon. Oregon has huge obsidian deposits, like rocks, gigantic boulders of obsidian. We used to have one of those, but I did throw it away. Left it there because it was too heavy to carry. Now it sounds funny with all the shells I've got. These are pretty neat. This is the tops. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's a piece of. These are the tops of shells. That have broken off. And just the tops remain. Usually there's a little hole in the middle. Probably make necklaces from. You're feeling crafty. Those are just all white pieces. This right here is all unassorted small shells. And these are the sand dollars in here. they break really easily. That's why I have them inside a paper. These here are little bits of scallops and could be sunrise shells. Have these here, calories, broken pieces. This is just big pieces of shells, white shells, and other types. Then we have shark's tooth, which is actually probably bought. It's pretty sharp, very sharp. And have some assorted purple ones there. These pieces are like that. And there's these, which are just broken calories. Here we have some broken sea urchins. There's more like that. These shells are all so small that I had to place them in here because some of them are really, really tiny and just had to be protected. Little mini house shells there and other stuff like that. This is a little cone shell right there. There's some really small ones. This is a little snail. A sea snail. I don't know how to use this camera, do I? This I have a lot of, actually. I don't know what type of shell this is, but I have a lot like that right over here. See all those little ones? The green one, the pink one. These are all that same type of shell. Even the little baby ones. The same type of shell there. Here we have more of the Hawaiian little sea snails. And then we have these, which are black and white-footed limpets. OPE. Little ones like that. Have some really tiny ones in the little shell. And there. I'm not going to go digging right there. Here we have this. This is a snail, a sea snail from California. Up what its name was. But you can Google image it and it comes up with what its name is. These are all other shells, pieces of shells. I have quite a few like that. Like that. There's a lot of shells in here. There's these type of, don't know if you ever saw them before, they're sea worms. Almost like a coral. There's coral here. See, this is coral. This is coral. This is coral. Here's another of those sea snails. You can Google to find out the name for California. And there's more of the OPE. There's these. These are little scallops. Some sort of scallops there. And these. Coral. More coral. It's in, oh, here it is. It reminds me of a lion's mane mushroom. Yep, it's coral. This too is coral. Looks like a bone. More 3 fingers, but it's coral. This, of course, is coral. We have all these over here. This is some sort of prehistoric mollusk. Which, I mean, really, it's like petrified. And it's pretty big. It's neat. I think that is probably from the desert in California somewhere. And we have these types of shells, which this is the type of shell you find in the desert before the seas were up where the desert is, and in inland California even. We just find this in the dirt there. There's more shells, more shells, more shells. These are a type of snail shells. This is like the type of snail that you find in California that's like escargot. And different types of little shells. Some abalone there, and then we have the sea snails. It's a nice one. This one is nice. Pretty big. Here is a type of snail shell. We have these. Oh, there's more of those right there. These ones. These, I looked them up in that book. These are rare. It's a rare type of cowrie. And I have quite a few of them. Just ignore the screaming and yelling. I'm used to it. You're probably not. More cowrie shells. We have these that are white, and then all of these are also all cowries, all different types of cowries. These ones, I don't know what type those are, and I do like this a lot. And a couple like that. These are the rare ones. That. Now. Don't have any of those type of cowries, but that I do have, but I like those little white ones, are the cool little nucleus cowries. You can tell because they have a weird little cutout on both sides of them. And, oh yes, we have some that are like, what do you call it? Where'd they go? We have some like this. One that I do like is this neat little shell here. Looks like an African painted design on it. No idea what type it is. I believe this is a type of cowrie.